Poonam. Today's topic is this quote from Eckhart Tolle. You do not become good by trying to be good, but by finding the goodness that is already within you and allowing that goodness to emerge. He also says, I think it's about 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through The Power of Now, something along the lines of beyond loving yourself is being yourself, right? So those two I kind of want to put together as a theme for this video, so that we can lay it all down, lay all of it down, all the things we think people love about us or don't like about us, or how we might be seen or perceived. I think that this might be different culturally from one culture to the next. And I think in the Western culture here, especially if you move in traditional religious circles and go to churches and things, there's sort of some role playing that goes on there. It's to be perceived as being good, right? So making the choices based on belief systems to act good rather than allowing the goodness that's inside of us to emerge. The quality of that is the difference between plastic cutlery and silver cutlery. It's a completely different experience of goodness, and we're not exhausted from it. Role-playing is an exhausting, very tiring role. People in sales, I often see them in a sort of a playing a role with a dynamic and a set of rules and how to, if you say this, then I'm going to say this, and you sort of develop these side personalities, right? Because later when we're out to dinner with our family, we probably will lay all those down. Now we may pick some other survival roles up to play while we're there, or we could be quiet and just allow whatever comes up authentically to be expressed and overflow through us. So it's not stopping anything, it's just recognizing with awareness that in that moment, here we are playing a role. So Eckhart talks a lot, I'm not sure if it's in A New Earth or Power of Now, but he talks about role playing. Do you treat the CEO the same as the janitor? There's also a famous meme with that on it. So are we able to be the same with everyone? Just open presence, to just allow the quieter, subtler mind to come in and support us. And it's a easier energy to be around. People may say, oh, really wonderful energy, which is a beautiful thing. And we can thank them and then drop it. Thank them and then drop it. And you're just being. There's no competing, no comparing, no needing to strengthen an ego sense of self or personality. It's just a beautiful sitting with what is, and that goodness will permeate from you without any words or overtures, gestures, without even a smile, although that's very nice. This is a big topic. So, Poonam, is there more that you'd like to add?
I think it's the same in every culture, because I've seen in India that people go to the temple and they may be attending the temple and they derive a sense of, oh, I'm more spiritual, right?
Yes. It's a separation. That's ego. It's either looking to feel superior or inferior, but both of those are separation. So it's in a lot of organizations and I think it was a survival mechanism. So a lot of some early spiritual teachings, when they were put out, were very progressive at the time when they were taken literally. And so here we are, and we're learning how to meet each other authentically. We don't need to know everything. We can know nothing, and it's a much more peaceful experience to be in the present moment, to see the beauty and the simplicity that's around us, to not need to add more to it or to feel like we need to do more. That there's a flavor of not enoughness to acting good or acting spiritual, being more spiritual.
So one of the aspects of that, what I realized that as children, right, we are being perfect students for our teachers. We are people pleasing.
Yes.
Right? So we're doing the perfect thing for our parents, or we're doing the perfect thing for our neighbors, or like you may not want to, like as a child, I may not want to do exactly what I needed to do, but I just do it because it's going to please my teacher. If I write neatly, it's going to please my teacher. But the one thing Eckhart says is what the ego always wanted, which is all this approval from our adults. You get it once the presence arises, because people just naturally gravitate towards presence, right? I find more people loving me now than when I was doing all that people pleasing, right? That fake playing a role of, oh, I'm so good.
It's my experience of relationships today, and some survive the waking process. So there's a deepness to those relationships. The quality of our interactions are completely different. There's no drama and trauma and complaining. And I was talking to one of my friends that I've known a good deal of this life, and we never for decades never said I love you when we were talking, but now we do. I don't know how or when that all started, but the depth of those connections are different. Are you experiencing the same? It's a really beautiful, and to just it's a beautiful gift to leave people alone. Better than anything that we can give them, especially sometimes skittish people. Just to leave them alone. They're so a lot of the communication they have coming in is saying that they're not doing something right, to make a human being skittish and unsure of themselves, which is another role.
Should we end at this, or you want to say some more?
Yeah, just one more thing. So beyond loving yourself is being yourself. So sometimes when I hear Eckhart answer a question, or he seems to always address the paradox in things, and this is the same. So on one hand, there's a love that emerges. It's always there, and it's just a beautiful celebration almost. And in order to do any self-care, or to put your attention on something outside of this material world, this dream that we're all immersed in, takes a certain amount of taking care of ourselves, which is loving, very loving. And then being ourselves is just to allow whatever flows through this form, whatever talents, whatever gifts, whatever level of consciousness is showing up, to just sit right there with it, and then allow that goodness that Eckhart talks about to just emerge. And that's all I have to say on this topic. Thank you.
Thank you, Parker.
Thanks, Kuna.